What's going on? My name's Dane. Welcome to the video. Today, we're going to be working on pulling the engine and transmission out of this truck right here in my grandma's garage. So let's check it out. So if you haven't guessed already, I want to do a 12 valve swap into my 1973 Dually. So how did I end up with this truck? Well, it started when I was looking around for used 12 valves. They seem to range in price anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 and all sorts of different conditions. And then I wasn't even able to find the transmission I wanted, which is a NV 4500, the 5-speed manual. I couldn't even find one for two-wheel drive. I found a few four-wheel drive ones, and those seemed like they ranged same thing anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000. And so I was kind of doing the math, trying to find an engine and transmission that I could buy, and then got to thinking, hey, it might actually be cheaper just to buy a whole donor truck with everything I need, engine, transmission, all the extra little parts that I'm gonna have to buy separately. So I started looking for trucks. This one I found about 200 miles away from me. It looked really clean in the photos, only 174,000 miles on it, which is relatively low miles for these trucks, I would say. So I messaged the guy. He wanted $9,800 for the truck. I said, hey, I honestly just want the truck for the engine and transmission. I can do $7,000. He said, call me, and gave me his number. So it ended up being a younger kid. He couldn't really answer a lot of questions about the truck. He had like a California number, and he was like, hey, I'm moving. I just got to get rid of this truck, blah, blah, blah. And so it almost kind of sounded like a scam at first. And so I ended up taking a risk and driving 200 miles to look at the truck. Turns out it was his father's truck. He bought it brand new. The kid got it. He just didn't want it. He wanted the cash, and he wanted to move. Super clean truck. I can't find any body damage on it at all. I mean, there's like a few little dents here and there, and a little nick on the fender over here, but other than that, super clean truck. The interior is all in one piece. I mean, I'll show you. I kind of started tearing things apart here, but look at that dash. Have you ever seen a dashboard that's not cracked on one of these older second gens? But yeah, interior is in great shape. I started tearing some things apart, the wiring. It's got a little bit of tear in the seat here, but I mean, overall, not bad. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've got to drive this truck roughly 300 to 400 miles. So I actually got to test the engine transmission, make sure it was solid before buying it. That's kind of rare, I would say, but it doesn't seem to have any blow-by at all. Yeah, this thing looks awesome. It doesn't look like anybody's in here. Completely stock as far as I can tell. Just a well taken care of truck. And I almost kind of feel bad about tearing this thing apart, but man, I just... it's got to be done, unfortunately. It is sad. I do like this truck, but I think once the other truck is done, it'll be well worth it. So today, I'm going to just try and get as far as I can with getting the engine and transmission tore out of this thing. All right, so we got the engine and transmission out of the truck, and I'll walk you around and explain what we had to do. So as you can see, I gutted this thing, or me and my brother did, and I basically pulled out everything that I wanted to do the swap. My brother works on vehicles for a living, and he's pulled a few of these 12 valves, and he told me up front, he said, hey, anytime I've pulled one of these, I've either dropped the trans first or I've taken the head off, just so we have enough room to kind of clear and get the engine out. And me not listening to him, I say, yeah, well, I'm just going to try it. And so luckily he was here when it happened. We ended up getting it kind of pulled out, and the oil pan was kind of wedged between the cross member and the top of the cowl right there, and we just couldn't get it to move. So we ended up having to remove the starter, this brake master cylinder here, and we ended up having to pull the oil pan. We just kind of got it in an awkward spot. It had to come out. We took the motor mounts out. We couldn't really just set it back down. So my brother said, well, about the only thing we can do is try and remove this oil pan and hope that it works. So we ended up removing it, had to remove the pickup tube as well. And luckily that gave us enough clearance to clear that cross member and just pull it straight out. But that was a lot more work than I had anticipated. And it was kind of funny. My brother made the comment when he was over here. He said, you're the only person I know with a socket set and some other basic tools, and says, hey, I'm just going to pull a 12 valve today. I thought that was pretty funny. One of these days I'll have to invest in some tools. But yesterday was not that day. So, plan for the truck now is to throw it up on Marketplace and just get as much money as I can out of this thing. It is a pretty solid roller as it sits, so hopefully it goes pretty quick. And we ended up separating the transmission from the engine after we got it out. So this thing does have a leak. It's pretty grimy. Talking to my brother, he says it's pretty common for these 12 valves to leak. So we're going to go through, we're just going to clean this thing up really good, and we're going to reseal the entire engine. So hopefully we'll do that. I got to order all the stuff we need to do it, and then hopefully within the next week or so we'll take it up to his work and reseal this thing. He's done it a few times, so he knows what he's doing. Thank goodness for that. This is a huge learning curve for me, and yeah, I couldn't have done this without my brother. Pretty good shape overall. Once we got that oil pan off, it looked great on the inside of the engine. I should have got a picture or video of it, but you'll see that hopefully soon. The only thing we did find that was somewhat concerning was after we separated the transmission, we did not see a pilot bearing. We found what we think was left of one, and on the flywheel, it looks like there might be a race, like a bearing race left in there. It's kind of hard to tell on the video. But yeah, this thing basically had no pilot bearing. So that was kind of interesting. The clutch actually looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to try and reuse it or just get a new clutch since it's out. It might be worth it, but I guess we'll see. But that's pretty much the plan for right now. Get this thing out of here, get what money I can out of it to help fund the rest of the build. All right, so it's now Monday. I ended up bringing the truck over late Saturday afternoon. Me and my brother got the engine and trans pulled late Saturday night, and then I came back over on Sunday, put the truck back together, and I listed it for sale on Facebook Marketplace. And today I had a buyer come and pick it up, and I ended up getting $2,000 for the truck, so that's great. That's going to be more money to put back into the engine, getting it resealed, and some of the upgrades we're going to be doing. But that's probably going to do it for today's video. So if you made it this far, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.